This week, truth cuts through the noise. The Aries full moon is going to light that fire of courage, and Mercury is diving into Scorpio to expose what has been buried. Ready or not, it is time to face what is real and rise from it. Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Patricia, your spiritual awakening coach, and this is your cosmic energy forecast for the week of October through the 12th. 2025. This is one of those weeks where everything intensifies. The truth really just can't be ignored anymore. It's not in your heart, not in your relationships, and not in the world around you. We're seeing it everywhere. So this week we begin with Mercury entering Scorpio and moving straight into a fiery full moon in Aries. Both of these things really are going to be demanding radical honesty, emotional courage, and a deep return to your authentic self. If you've been feeling that buildup since eclipse season not that long ago, that feeling maybe an inner tug of war between your truth and other people's expectations, this is the week that's the turning point. So, first of all, on October 6th, we have Mercury, the planet of the mind and communication, moving into those shadowy alchemical waters of Scorpio. This is not casual conversation energy, casual banter. This is the descent into the underworld of truth. In Scorpio, Mercury becomes a psychopomp, a messenger who crosses thresholds between the seen and the unseen, the conscious and the unconscious. He guides us through liminal spaces where transformation happens, not through logic, but through revelation. Here, words carry power. Secrets rise to the surface. Conversations pierce beyond the small talk into what's really going on, the motivations, the desires, the fears, the patterns, those things underneath the surface that we might rather not name. Now, if Mercury in Libra was about diplomacy, Mercury in Scorpio says, enough. Every sign is a reaction to the one prior. So too much of this diplomacy, and Scorpio says, enough. Let's get to the real story. Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's see what's underneath the veneer. So on a personal level, this transit is going to be asking you to listen for what is unspoken. What does that mean? Use your intuition. Notice your body's reactions to things. Notice the emotional tone beneath the words. Notice what is not being said as opposed to what is being said. What's being hidden? So it is a time to reclaim your mental focus and discernment and to ask, what truth am I afraid to name? What conversation am I avoiding that would set me free? On a spiritual level, this is shadow work in real time. Scorpio governs the mysteries of death and rebirth, not necessarily literal death, but the shedding of what is false. Mercury in Scorpio then invites you to see where your mind clings to those old stories, to toxic thought loops, those things that just keep you in survival mode. Now, let's bring in the tarot associations. Mercury in Scorpio resonates with the Death card, the Five of Cups, and the Death card, which is Scorpio. The Five of Cups reminds us of the grief that we feel when something ends, but also that not all is lost because two of the cups remain upright. They're waiting for us to turn toward what still holds life. Now, Death, the card of transformation, is echoing Scorpio's promise that endings are initiations in disguise. What goes up must come down. Endings are initiations in disguise. And now let's look numerologically. 5 represents instability. This is that discomfort that kind of pushes us into change. We feel unstable. So if you are feeling that things feel shaky, it's because you are shifting frequency. Don't resist the unraveling. It is the main part, it's the beginning part and needs to happen. Let that unraveling reveal what is ready to die off. You'll notice it. You'll see the things that aren't working for you anymore. They need to be gone. And this is a great time for having those come to the surface. So, for all of us that are navigating this reinvention, this coming into our own, this doing the thing in the world that we're meant to be doing, this is a great week to journal those unspoken truths that you have each morning before checking your phone. What do you know to be true? Ask yourself that every morning this week. Journal about it. See what comes up. Practice like a silent observation and just notice, how are other people's words landing in your body before reacting to them. And that it's a great week also to clear mental clutter, delete old notes, emails, or drafts that you haven't sent that have been sitting in there in your draft folder for ages. Books, maybe. I'm going to be cleaning out some of my books here. This is the time. Scorpio asks for a purge, for a clean out. And with Mercury, it's about information, data, communications, thoughts, and beliefs. Now, another thing, here's the challenge step. Notice where maybe you have been quiet because you're fearful of the outcome, fearful of someone's reaction, fearful about saying something that might not be received well. And the challenge is, in that area, create one honest, vulnerable conversation this week. Challenge yourself to do that. This is what Scorpio is asking. Mercury in Scorpio is about bringing up those communications that are in hiding truths. This is a perfect time for those things to kind of come out into the open so they can be dealt with. Scorpio's magic is not comfortable, but it's real. So when you name what is true for you, energy starts moving again. So this is the week to do that, whether it's through journaling, through conversations, through just noticing other people's conversations and how they land for you. Now, the next thing we've got is October 7th. We have the Aries Full Moon, which arrives at 14 degrees, the middle of the sign, full on Aries. It is the second decan of Aries, and so it is symbolized by the Three of Wands. The essence is momentum, courage, collaboration. This full moon opposes the sun, as all full moons do. That's the definition of a full moon, at 14 degrees Libra. So the sun is at 14 degrees Libra, the moon is at 14 degrees of Aries. And this 14 degrees of Libra is linked to the Three of Swords. So this is about heartbreak, clarity through pain, and truth revealed in relationships. So together, these cards tell a story with the planets, right? This idea about courage to be yourself, even when it breaks an old dynamic apart, possibly, or shifts something in your outer world, doesn't keep it at status quo. Now, Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is currently at 10 degrees of Scorpio in the second decan of Scorpio. So it's connected to the Six of Cups, the nostalgia of old patterns, emotional memory, and the tender, that pull of the past. I know I've been feeling that, like this kind of pull of, I don't know why, it's this, in Portugal, they call it saudade. It's this longing for a place or a time that's not here. And so we might feel some of that in the ethos, right? In the environment, we might feel some of that kind of longing for something. So this full moon is ruled by this very deeply emotional Mars. It is activating memory and courage and renewal all at the same time. So you might feel a little torn between what's familiar and what is actually calling your spirit forward. Full moons in general bring culminations, revelations, emotional peaks. And at 14 degrees of Aries, the energy is saying, Aries is about individuation, the individual. So it is saying, this is who I am now. It's a declaration after a long silence. And so this lunation is connecting back to the solar eclipse from September, the point where we began sorting through old routines and patterns. Now, this awareness is ripening, coming to fruition. And we are starting to see what we've outgrown from those old routines and patterns. Now, globally, this Aries full moon turns up the collective heat. The fire element amplifies courage, but also volatility and conflict. So, globally, we can see many global conflicts, protests, collective awakenings, moments when people are stepping up, finally saying no more. I think we're going to see that moment of the next level, the next step. More people coming on board and saying, no, this is not how we want it. When I looked at that chart, the energy felt to me, the only way I can describe it is almost like a step. Yes, it's a new beginning with Aries, but it's almost like a shift. Like if you're here and then it's like this up and over, like a shift up, a step up. So it's both personal, it's societal. We're going to see these energies in the drive for autonomy. That's Aries, for self-determination, the courage to act in alignment with truth. The full moon it's an initiation into yourself, into trusting yourself. So you need to know about yourself. Where have you overcompromised? What part of yourself have you abandoned to keep the peace? What truth needs to be spoken aloud? Not to provoke or start something, but to free yourself from something that's anchoring you down. This lunation is reawakening this fire of self-respect. It's not just a rebellion for rebellion's sake. It is a remembrance of our own sovereignty. And so that is on a personal level and wherever Aries is in your chart. And it is at a global level as well. We will see it. We already are seeing it, but we're going to continue to see it intensify. So this full moon it's not a gentle one, but it is an awakening. It is one we can ride the wave of. It's like catching that big wave, right? It's a big wave. It's not a little paddle your boat down the river kind of wave, right? But we can really take advantage of the power of this energy to notice themes of sovereignty for ourselves, for the collective, of individuation, who we are, who we want to stand to be, and stand in that truth. So a few suggestions if you'd like to do a little full moon ritual is to, and let me tell you, whenever you're watching this, the full moons, any full moons or new moons, you have a little window of about 2 to 3 days before and after that if you want to do ritual and you've missed maybe the peak of it, you have a few days left to still do rituals. So take advantage of that and do it when it works for you. But one little thing you could do for this particular full moon is to light a candle, or it's always a good one, light a candle and just speak out loud. I release all versions of myself that no longer reflect my truth. And then just write down where you have felt silenced, either by other people, by yourself, by a belief that you have, by a fear of upsetting something, someone. Write this down and then burn the page to symbolize freedom from that. And then move your body. Mars energy, Aries energy requires like action. Okay. So dance, walk briskly, shake off the energy. Aries needs motion. And then close with a gratitude of something like, I honor the courage that lives within me. This is a powerful time to make a commitment, not to others, but to yourself. After the intensity of the full moon, the energy softens midweek. We get a little like, whew, the wave, the coming down of the wave, right? We get this Venus sextile Jupiter. It's just a lovely, lovely, the two benefics of the planetary world coming together in a very harmonious relationship. So this is opening up hearts. This is bringing relief. This is like a breath of fresh air, reminding us that connection and harmony and cooperation can heal. Community heals. This is your kind of bright gem of a moment, right? This is this lovely moment midweek, time to reach out, to share joy, and to re-anchor in what's good. So by the weekend, energy is going to start turning inward again. You might be craving a little bit of solitude or boundaries, clarity. So use this time to integrate what's come up during this intense full moon. Clean your altar, reset your calendar, make space energetically and literally for what's next. Mercury's continued journey through Scorpio means that words still carry weight. Be mindful of your tone, speak only what's true, necessary, and kind. But don't sugarcoat truth that needs to be said. So I would say that the theme of this week is something like courageous truth. Mercury in Scorpio gives you the X-ray vision to see beneath the surface. The Aries full moon gives you the strength to act on what you see. And so together they create this bridge between awareness and embodiment, between knowing and doing. So your work this week is to trust your truth enough to live it out loud. If conversations get intense, breathe before you speak. Count to 10. If emotions rise, feel them. Don't fight them. Don't hang on to them. And if endings come, bless them and move forward with grace. And just remember, Aries teaches courage, Scorpio teaches transformation. Together, they are forging the courage to transform. They are forging a rebirth. And so what I wish for you all this week is that what is hidden is revealed, and what has been waiting is ignited, and that you rise as the truest version of yourself, that you are bold, honest, and aligned. The universe doesn't need you to be fearless. It needs you to be real. And until next time, keep shining your brilliance.